split up my Citizen Brick World kind of purchases a little bit more to make them more focused. I did review a ton of other figures already. If you want to see that video, check it out in the corner, but we're going to be taking a look at 2 figures just in this video with the 2 versions of the Pope that they did, since the newest Pope is from Chicago or the Chicagoland area, and they've made 2 very cool figures here, which will be in their typical clamshell package. We have the It's a New Pope with the more actual sort of Vatican look, and of course Chicago Pope with the subway, or whatever the subway's called in Chicago, the flag colors for the Chicago flag there. On the back, read-ups should be pretty much the same, just the different titles, but they have the same font. If you want to read those quick, go for it. There's some jokes. They're pad printed on official pieces other than the hats, which are going to be brand new molded pieces by Citizen Brick. Let's check them out. To start out with, we'll just look at the normal Pope, since there's a little bit less fun factor here. Back of the minifigure has absolutely no printing, but there's a really nice gold sort of lattice design all over the place on the front here. The staff is going to be custom molded, which I was surprised by, since this is all one piece instead of being 2, since they have made the cross previously, but it is like an exact replica of their cross piece, just in his staff, unremovable. So it would have been nice to have this in white. Honestly, I don't think that is a common color for those. I've seen them in brown and like some other kind of mixed colors, but the whole staff piece here is pretty cool. But if it had like an open bar connection at the top there to mix out parts, that would have been really cool too. But I'm sure you could find out something interesting to do with this, since you can connect different parts to the sides there. So if you figured out something fun, you could do like a weird candle piece or some sort of way to connect a bunch of pieces to this in that sort of manner. But now that we have the accessory out of the way, we can see the printing a little bit better. You got the little collar there and the cross necklace as well. And again, just the really nice design of all the very intricate detailing of the gold print, which continues around on the hat at least to more of the sides. All very nice. Honestly, that is like such a fine little bit of detailing with their other different lines and different crosses or cross patches going along there. I do really like the layering of like the belt part with the necklace hanging down over it. That looks really cool, and there is even a little bit more of that design on the bottom of the torso where it crosses over to the like more skirt piece. Of course, no printing on the back, and maybe that is normal, but I feel like this belt piece at least should be crossing around the back. But I guess I get why you might not want to do that, since it would just be one more side to print. But when we get to the next one, we'll see why it's a little strange that this one doesn't have that. Maybe the gold ink is more expensive. There's got to be a reason somewhere. Getting the hat off, which is actually surprisingly like hollow at the top there, so that's kind of a cool thing. So some people say that now that they made this, they should make Ghost. Wouldn't be surprised if they made that eventually. The head is also just nice with a pink glasses sort of look, the silver brims, a little bit of a gap between the top and the bottom there where the nose would be, and the just little smile. It's a nice little head, and kind of similar to their new gangster head here, where another character with pink sunglasses. So I wonder if they were kind of in the same mindset when making these, or had the idea for one of these or the other while doing the other. And it is kind of nice on this one. There's a little bit of a pink hue over the pupils where it isn't just straight black. So they must have just printed the pink over it, I'm assuming, or did like a slightly different colored black, but that doesn't make sense. But having the pink printed over it definitely makes the black look a little bit different. So that is a nice effect. Maybe it is just that there isn't like the white pupils. It is just like abstract space there in the middle of the black. But it's a good figure, and I'm sure Catholic people would really like this. More just having a Lego Pope is funny, but the next version of this will be even more funny, since this is a straight gag type minifigure with, again, decked out all over with Chicago flag imagery and back printing. So that is very strange to me, where this one has back printing, this one does not. I feel like you could have just reused the belt outline here with black, honestly, and just continued the belt with no gold, or just done like a thin gold instead of like the red. Should have done something, because it just feels very plain on the back of this one. The hats aren't printed on the back on either of these, and it's kind of funny. Instead of the cross sort of molded part, they just used a gold hot dog, which I was surprised was an official part. So that is just kind of like a fun little staff build you could make with real Lego parts. Again, I don't know why there is a gold hot dog. I need to do research on that, but that is a nice little piece to have too. Obviously in reference to like Chicago dogs and everything like that. I think the blue lattice design on here is even better than the gold one, where I just think the shape is a little more fun. I don't know if that's a reference to something where it is kind of like that like peace sign or like Y shape, but it looks really good. And the flag sort of design also nice. The reuse on here, maybe the collar. It seems like it's a little bit darker and thicker, so I don't even know if that is reuse. So that might honestly, that could be the only reuse, but I don't think it is. Everything I think on this figure is unique compared to this one, other than one thing, which would be the head on this minifigure, which will be a reuse of the face design on the Coach Ditka minifigure from a couple years ago, or the Coach of, Da Bears. So it'll have the same face design, obviously on a new plastic, where it is the same sort of darker flesh that the normal Pope minifigure has, but exact same print from what I saw when I was comparing them. So again, still a nice head. It is nice to get down a different flesh color at least. Nothing on the back of the head, obviously. Citizen Brick doesn't really do double-sided heads. And again, with the Chicago flag sort of design on the hat there, looks nice. Very good minifigure, and glad to see them embrace this as a meme since they are based in Chicago. The Pope is from Chicago, so seeing them do these two minifigures, it's a nice little set. Glad to have both of them. Let's go to some comparisons and the final verdict. Overall, I felt like the minifigures didn't flash as much at the actual show this year. There were some good ones at the headquarters, but these Popes were definitely standouts as kind of exclusives to the show. The Chicago one, again, probably my favorite out of the two, but the normal Pope also has really great printing. The design on there is really nice and really detailed, and it's really fun to look at close up. Hopefully it comes across on camera. Just the level of intricate, interconnected parts all over the place is great. I do think it is, again, kind of weird that the cross at the top of like the staff isn't just the normal molded cross with like an insert point at the top there, because that would have made the bottom of the staff more usable, but I don't know the process for coming up with a mold like this. Maybe this just was more sturdy and made more sense. I threw in the pizza guy here as my other Citizen Brick staffed character. Again, you got to go to Brick World. Checking out the Citizen Brick booth in person is amazing. It's really fun to see all of their figures and pick out individual ones as you're going. These were carded figures basically, so there weren't misprints or anything like that, but still really great to get, and I'm sure the people of Chicago were really happy to get these. Let me know, did you pick up one of these, or if you have a favorite out of the two, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more custom Lego Citizen Brick reviews or other Lego content, check out all the videos on my channel, and feel free to join as a member if you want some extra perks. Like always, I have been Brick Raddy Up, and I'll see you in the next video.